and ask your opinion. Yesterday, Casey Anthony was like the number one trend on Twitter, and I was like, "What the hell happened with Casey Anthony? Did she pass away?" And like, no, actually, it's worse than that. She is now trying to basically put herself back out there in the world and be an advocate of sorts. Here's Casey explaining why she is popping up from underneath that rock after all these years.
I sweat to death. Okay.
She's in Florida.
Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting.
That sounds
I am
like a threat.
legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter.
Yeah, so she's going to start an organization, say Young Murdering Mothers Against Drunk Driving or something.
What's the acronym for that?
Yeah. But, okay, so she is a legal advocate. She developed a passion for, of the legal system after defeating it while being accused of murdering her daughter, of course, Kaylee. Now, she's coming out and she's going to be speaking as an advocate and offering legal advice. And, of course, the internet did not take too kindly to this.
Even OJ didn't go down that route.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Casey Anthony going back out in the public world and trying to basically rewrite her image, so to speak? Like, at this point, is she a forever canceled type of person, or does she get the opportunity to try to go out and try to do some good through social media followers and offering legal advice and counsel?
There's some people that have redemption arcs, and there's just some that don't.
Right.
And there's just some that don't.
Yeah, some of the comments that I read on this, absolutely not. We need to shame Casey Anthony right back into obscurity. There will never be enough time pass to erase what she did. Yes, and that was the probably friendliest comment that I saw amongst this is the one thing that I actually saw unite Twitter, and Twitter is such a divisive place these days, right? There was literally not a comment that I came across that someone's like, "Hey guys, hear her out." Yeah, she looks like she's been working out. Let's see if she got maybe another chance.
She's changed.
Everything. Every single comment going down is literally somebody either pointing out the fact that she got away with murder or, making jokes about it in a crude way. Not one person said anything even remotely medium ground. I'm seeing things like just seeing her face still enrages me. She's a researcher, all right. Google how to dispose of child's body. That's a comment. Let's see. There's more comments let's see. I know totally did not have this one on my bingo card.
Nope.
Yeah. OnlyFans is right around the corner. And honestly, would she be better off doing OnlyFans or attempting to do legal, legitimate work? And she has spent 15 years studying this and working for an attorney, her actually former attorney, which there's a lot of allegations on how, Casey Anthony even was able to afford Jose Baez. And there are allegations that her defense attorney, Jose Baez, and I still remember his name, had a sexual relationship with Casey Anthony. And this is pretty much the payment that he used to help get her off. It was kind of like, I guess you do me, I do you.
Got her off all right.
Yeah.
Got her off big time.
Pro bono. But it was interesting to see the internet come together for one united cause. So it'll be interesting to see
what it takes. Yep.
If she posts another video and it's like, "Hey, Twitter world, it's Casey Anthony here, channeling my inner OJ and coming with some unsolicited legal advice.
Right.
Don't forget to use bleach in your trunk. Twitter world." I know it's brutal. It's brutal.
Ugh.
I know.
Just disappear, please.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Unfortunately, I don't think she will, but we'll see. But the one thing that is uniting us as a nation is the disdain for Casey Anthony still in 2025. So maybe that's a good thing. All right, let's hit the reset. We got Draft My Life coming up right around the corner. Plus, Tony and Heather from Catalina Craft Pizza will be in studio to do another round of Tap Out. Our theme today is Oscars trivia. So if you think you know a thing or two about Oscars trivia, you can win up to $100 of gift certificates to their fine establishment. So stick around for your opportunity next on Rock 102.1 KFMA.
Did you get caught self-loving by your mom?
You're an anomaly of a man. All right, so welcome back.
Explain.
Live on the podcast. Okay, so here's my explanation and situation. Now, first, I want to welcome Dana from Decibel Coffee in studio right now. Good morning,
Hey,
Dana.
what's up?
He's joining us on the podcast broadcast because he's got a couple cool things that we want to talk about, including this Saturday, most importantly, the Wired Festival that he's putting on. The Wired Fest, it's the first annual, and it takes over both the Rialto and 191 Tool. Now, before we get into all that, which we will, I upset myself because I accidentally deleted my show open. We had a great show open this morning. We recorded 5-star, review of Rico, which Rico spends a long time researching and writing out these, creative monologues.
2 days. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it takes 2 days, right? No, how long, legitimately?
It ranges. It depends.
Okay, so this one, which you did, was for the, remind me what you were calling it.
La
the placenta.
Placita.
La Placita parking garage.
Correct.
It was a 5-star review on a parking garage, right?
Damn right there is.
It was brilliant. But with that said, I accidentally deleted it. How long did it take you to write that La Placita 5-star review?
Over a span of 2 years, doing deep research, undercover in a parking garage.
I want one honest answer from you.
3 hours, 2 hours.
See?
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so I accidentally deleted it, and I feel horrible about it. Maybe just as bad as he does, probably worse. But then I was like, well, honestly, it's the podcast broadcast. It would be a shame to let 2 hours of creative writing and hard work, no AI, right?
This guy's
Go
a
to waste.
master finesser.
No.
A master BSer.
I'm not even BSing. These are, stop me when I'm lying, okay? All right, so he spent 2 hours writing this and stuff. So why make it a one and done and forever gone?
I think it's more hip that way, honestly. The people that were listening live get to have it forever in their heads.
So you in 2 hours just to spew off for 5 minutes.
I do it every week anyway, so it's like, all right, whatever, on to the next one.
But I record them and document them and replay them back, and I don't have that ability right now because
it's gone. Yeah, I can do it again.
Dana,
Sure.
you're in the middle of this lover's quarrel, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Lover's quarrel,
It's upsetting
awkward
that
silence.
something's just gone into the ether.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have to be. We still have everything. I still have the review on file. You still have the script of what you wrote. And hell, I could actually just pull it up for you by Googling La Placita parking garage because it's a 5-star review, right? So here's
Dad can be mad all he wants. All I'm saying is that lightning in a bottle's a thing. The energy's not going to be there. It won't be the same. You can't replicate that greatness.
You can, though. That's the thing. That's what I tried to tell him. So this is an actual 5-star review. So Rico, this place has a 2.1 rating, right? So it gets.
What if they went up to 3 stars because of that one?
It might be. And so Rico's been making a name for himself by giving 5-star reviews to various businesses throughout all of Tucson. But they're never necessarily about the business. They are kind of like Jack Kerouac. They kind of wander off a little bit, and it takes you on this journey. They're fascinating. And our audience loves them. And Google loves him too because he's quickly becoming one of the highest rated 5-star or Google reviewers in the area. And so nobody complains too when they get a 5-star. If you wrote all this shit and it's 1 star, they're just like, flag, Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're back on the air. Trying to convince Rico to recreate magic, but it's not going to happen. But anyways, when you leave a 1-star review, it's going to get flagged. But all these businesses who get this very obscure, like, what the hell is this? But I'm not going to complain because they're giving me 5 stars is what Rico's literally been doing for the past 2.5 years. And have Google, he's left 74 reviews so far.
Are they like Beat Generation reviews? Yeah, like
I'm chain smoking at a typewriter while I write these.
Yes.
You know it.
That's what he does. He
Drinking
types
my
it.
Decibel coffee.
He types it on a typewriter and then scans it to upload it to Google.
While listening to jazz.
We have Dana. We have Dana from Decibel Coffee joining us here on the podcast broadcast. He has a fantastic music fest that's taking over both the Rialto and 191 Tool this Saturday with headliners such as Russian Circles, Pelican, Camping in Alaska, and more. We're going to break that down and everything they got going on at Decibel Coffee right after music from Seether. You can join us on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. All right, so, yeah.
VG Serpent.
Now-
VG Serpent.
No, I'm sorry, did I say it wrong?
No, I'm just looking at Lynn's. She's excited.
Oh, good. Yeah, you should be excited about this show. The show is sick. Mari's super excited about it, and she's bummed that she's in Japan and she won't be able to go to this.
Yeah,
but
Japan, Wired Fest. I mean,
I know. Here's the flyer in particular. See that you're able to see as we pulled up, and it's a big move to be able to take over both 191 Tool and Rialto. And it's interesting too because you get $40 for both. Both stages, $20 just for one stage.
correct.
Yeah,
we were originally going to have it at the MSA Annex outside, all together, all one long show.
right.
We decided to move it, and Chris Carey from Rialto was super helpful. And we wanted to split it up so the show wasn't so long, and we staggered the times of the stages so you can walk back and forth. And
that's good. That's super good. Yeah, and then what is the capacity of tickets that you can sell? Because this is the worst case scenario is the best case. Your best case scenario is a worst case nightmare, right?
Yeah.
Say you sell out, and then everyone that wants could fit in Rialto wants to be a 191 Tool for a certain set.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
191 has a 500 cap.
Yes.
So that Rialto Theater much more.
Yes, I know, and that's the only thing where I was thinking the same thing. Where it was like, what if we did like for KFMA to did like a small ball kind of thing where we took over the Rialto and like Club Congress, but you can't have so many people at the Rialto wanting to be inside Club Congress, and that's where the problem.
Well, I think
arises.
Camping in Alaska has a younger demo, and they're newer on the scene as well. So I don't think they'll have quite the draw as a Russian Circles or Pelican.
Yeah.
So, we felt like we could massage that, and it'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, and I know that you're right too. Like I said, your worst case scenario is your best case scenario as well.
Yeah.
So to be the victim of your own success, which can happen, but you're thinking, okay, if this is moderately okay, then it's going to be overwhelmingly successful.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to have a great time.
Sure.
And honestly, with the flows and just like festivals, with the staggered time, everyone's going to kind of have their own different lineup that they're going to do.
Sure.
Some people camp out at just Rialto. Some people will be like, I want to go early to 191 Tool, then back and forth and do all that. So we're going to break down basically different game plans that you could do here this Saturday, and then talk about Decibel Coffee, which you brought in some pastries for us as well, right?
I did, yeah. I brought in a couple scones and a couple cookies for y'all. I got a lemon strawberry poppy
scone
seed
action,
scone,
baby.
and then a bacon cheddar.
You're showing the bag.
No, look inside the bag. Take a little peek. Little tease. You don't want to show them the whole scone.
Yeah, you do. I want to see a whole scone. Don't be a tease. This is like I subscribe to the Scones OnlyFans page. Okay, which is this the vegan one? This is the scone. You can tell because it's heavier. Ooh, is this cheese on top?
That's
Beefy
the
scone.
cheddar bacon poblano.
Okay, I'm gonna eat this because I'm not vegan. Yeah. So you make these in house?
Yeah, we do. We have a kitchen at our new location on Broadway, 2631 East Broadway, right next to Rocco's. In the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Yes. And actually, Rocco was talking you guys up, and that new location, that strip there, looks super nice.
It's really nice.
Oh
Good
yeah.
spot.
Here, we'll get on the air here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're hanging out here with Dana from Decibel Coffee, which just opened up a second location next to the new location at Rocco's.
Yeah,
and that
Soul
strip.
Block. Yep.
They call it Soul Block?
Yeah, SOL.
Because it's the new Broadway, right? So you got to make it sound super hip.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And when you cruise down Broadway, it does start to feel like a different kind of town. You're like, oh, I like the promise here, Tucson.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's getting there. That Sunshine Mile is becoming an actual thing.
Yeah.
And And of course, Rocco's looks beautiful and same building.
Yep.
So, I'm sure your place, the new place, is all decked out.
Our new place looks amazing. It's probably one of my favorite units in that block. Very mid-century, super high vaulted ceilings, a lot of plate glass, a lot of cool design features.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Nice.
that building, the architecture, it does look nice. Like to where at Rocco's, you're just like, oh, this is like a fancy dinner date night spot now, not just a place where you want to gorge on deep dish. At any point where you like, man, this almost looks too nice. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess, but no.
Yeah.
You grow into it.
How long have you been owning a coffee shop? Because I know that you were front of house and a sound engineer, and we're touring with some of the bands that you are presenting this Saturday at the Rialto.
Pelican and Russian Circles. I got off the road and started this company with my friend Nick, who our bands played together. So this is actually kind of a 10-year anniversary show for us as well. We started in 2015, and so yeah, it all ties in.
Yeah. So you decided to just put this together as a part of your celebration to hang out. And, nice.
Yeah, and this is something we always wanted to get into. Like I said, we're all musicians, and we wanted to put on a festival yearly that celebrates music. I mean, we're fully tied into it.
Yeah.
As a company and as individuals as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the style of Decibel coffee too, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a rock coffee house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll pull that up on the website as well. We'll pull the website up on the podcast broadcast. But I'm looking just at right now. It's an all-ages festival that's happening this Saturday. Now, this is great for everyone out there that complains that there's no shows happening in Tucson. If you, open your mind and for a lot less money, head on downtown, Rialto Theater and 191 Tool. Both of those venues are simultaneously hosting the first annual Wired Fest, and there's going to be different set times, so you could literally choose which bands you want to see, and it all kicks off at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, it kicks off a little bit earlier at 191 because there's 4 bands there, but if you want to get set times, you can go to wiredfest.com and get tickets and set times there for info.
I love it. Well, you know what? Let's go down the rabbit hole. Check out some of these bands just to refresh people's memories and look at the set list so we can start game planning what our ideal Wired Fest night might be at youtube.com/bevegan as we're hanging out here with Dana from Decibel Coffee. We got Rico's 5-star review coming up here shortly. Stick around. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Did you hear that part?
Hmm?
I did a tease.
Oh.
I
was going to do it tomorrow when I was actually awake.
You're not awake right now?
Not with the same energy.
You hook them up, Dana.
Just pour it down my gullet.
Yeah,
put it in my eyes.
Luckily, we got a coffee guy. We literally got a coffee guy.
If you got a maker, I'll
Just kill my adrenals.
grind it up.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, we do. In fact, actually, there's already beans in there, so it would be too much of a process to unload all the beans, but I do love that. We have all the caffeine in the world, Rico. All right, so let me pull this up. So what's the website for here?
Wiredfest.com.
Okay, wiredfest.com. I'm going to play a little bit of Camping in Alaska, which
Camping in Alaska is like a throwback kind of emo-ish, like Promise Ring band.
I love how he said Promise Ring band. That's great.
It's kind of has that
Promise
energy.
Ring, yeah.
It has that energy.
Pre-Grimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it right here. That's Camping in Alaska in the background. Here, I'll turn it up a little bit more so you can hear it. See you in the ball pit. All right, and that's all I can play before I get flagged. No. Yeah.
All the high-powered attorneys from Camping in Alaska.
You know what happens is on Facebook. Well, what will happen on Facebook is we might get, stopped on Facebook. It will continue on YouTube, and then they'll be like, you can't monetize it. And I'm like, joke's on you. I don't make shit on this stream. So, yes, it's good to be able to pull that up. So, yeah, what's your website again?
Wiredfest.com.
Okay, wiredfest.com for all the set times. So let's pull that up here.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, I see it on your phone. But I pull it up on my computer as well. Once I reload. Oh, actually, it says I can't pull this up. Oh, that's because I did wiredfestfest.com. You can't buy that
That's
one.
our competition.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's... There we go. If you do it correctly, then you're going to see this instead. This is the Wired Fest website, and this is a nice website too. Let's see.
A little landing page that Best Life put together for it.
Nice. So who's Best
Boom.
Life? Who's involved in?
It's Matt Paquet and Dan Hernandez.
Nice.
And they're promoters in town and been doing it forever. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So they know what they're doing. You could tell by this. So the Rialto stage doors open at 6:30. North goes on at 7:30. Pelican at 8:30, and then Russian Circles close it out. They're going to be the headliners of this festival. And at 191 Tool kicks off a little bit early. Doors open at 5:30. Commoner. I was getting there. Commoner opens up at 6:30. Troubled Minds at 7:15. And then Silver Fern at 8, and then Camping in Alaska at 9. So you got tighter sets happening at 191 Tool.
Correct.
Yeah, and then more of the headliners, so to speak, at Rialto, which all makes sense.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're watching Camping, you could watch pretty much their whole set before you have to go over to Russian Circles. I think you should be able to catch both in their entirety. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah, no,
Russian Circles has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're
kill
great
it.
guys too. When I first started touring with Pelican, they were just starting out, and they shared a practice space with Pelican, and Pelican would take them out on their first tours, pretty much. And even though I was doing sound for Pelican, I would do sound for Russian Circles as well, which I love both of those bands.
Yeah. So these are all buddy bands. Was it difficult to get them all booked on the same day? Did you have to kind of reschedule several days?
Well, no, because we brought Russian Circles out on purpose.
Yeah.
And they kind of built a tour around the show.
Nice.
And then Pelican, we brought them on later because we didn't know that they were going to hop on this tour. It's kind of a 20-year anniversary of those of Pelican and Russian Circles kind of being bands together. And
nice.
So they did like a show in Chicago 6 months ago with this lineup, and it'd be great to have both of them. And
you were able to make it happen.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
How much coffee do you have to load up in the green rooms for these bands? Like on a rider where they like, I want 17 scones.
We have a pallet drop at each location. We'll
First come, first serve. Get them.
We'll load them up for sure.
Excellent.
High energy sets.
Hell yeah. So we're breaking down more of that with Dana. I want to eat some of this scone. So earlier this morning, we had your F My Lifes, and it was some good ones. So in case you missed it, I went a little something like this. Check it out.
Did you do something that got you fired from your job?
I just get stupid.
It's fun being stupid.
Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600-KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of Your F My Life. These are unfortunate situations. Email to me at beefvegan@kfma.com. Subject line FML. But of course, if you have an F My Life you care to share on the air, you can give us a call at 600-KFMA. That's 605-362. And if our panel agrees your life is F, we'll hook you up with a pair of tickets for your Tucson Roadrunners, either for Tuesday, March 11th, or Wednesday, March 12th. Our panelists today, of course, Rico, and then we have Heather and Tony from Catalina Craft Pizza. Good morning.
Good morning, Beef.
Good morning.
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
All right, let's get into our first email. We got some good ones this morning. So first one sent to me by Danielle. Danielle said, I was trying to secretly check my reflection in a car window. Turns out there was a person inside watching me admire myself like a narcissistic raccoon. All right. F My Life. We'll start off with Heather on this one.
I don't think F my life.
Yeah?
No, it's okay.
It could be a moment. You're like, you try to get something out of your teeth.
Yeah, and maybe they just rolled down their window and were like, you look good.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be cool. That would be my move, too.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
You're looking
you're
fine.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, it's a better mirror because what you see back is probably not what you is what's the reality.
They're like, you look good.
Yeah, through my eyes, it's a dime.
Yeah.
All right, and then cops are called. F My Life, what do you say, Rico?
No, I agree, big baby.
Okay.
You do the finger guns at yourself. Pow.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Tony?
Totally agree.
Okay.
Big Betty.
In what scenario does she turn this into an F My Life, though? Is she like picking her nose in the mirror, or is there something that she could do while looking at the reflection with someone inside that would turn this into an F My Life?
If there's somebody inside banging.
That's what I was going to go with.
Okay.
Something's going on
Like you're looking
there.
inside,
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
them.
Okay, yeah. And then you're just like all of a sudden like,
Who's this
yeah,
pervert?
Checking my
Yeah, get
eyebrows,
out of
you
here,
know?
pervert. I'm
Or
trying
they're
to
into
bang
it.
in the Sprouts parking lot and you're staring at me like a creep.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. All right, next email sent to me by Sean. Sean said, I walked into the glass door so hard that the guy inside the store yelled, "You good?" before I even hit the ground. Oh, F My Life, Tony.
Yeah, sure. Why? F my life. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what do you say, Heather?
I go F my life.
All right, Rico?
Big time. There's no cool way out of that.
Oh, yeah. That's so great, too, that it happened so fast that he didn't even hit the ground yet. And he's hearing, "You good?"
Like he's used to it.
No. All right. Next up on Life sent to me by Vanessa. Vanessa said, I once tried to open a soda can with one hand to look cool, and it exploded like a grenade, covered me in cola, and then I smelt like a gas station floor. All right, F My Life, Rico.
I say big baby. It's like the same as the first one. It's how you deal with it. If you go, woo, people think you're a party animal.
That's what you would do?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and for the rest of the day, just covered in sticky syrup?
Absolutely. Own it.
Okay. All right, Tony, you're
Yeah.
looking confused at Rico,
Well-
but you agree?
Oh, it's a big baby. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with one hand. It's going to blow up either way. 17 hands is going to blow up. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, if it's all shook up. Maybe she did a whole little bartender mix. You know, like
Yeah.
when I do open up my espresso shots in the morning, I do that. It's part of my OCD. I take the can and I flip it like Tom Cruise in Cocktail, and then I catch it and I pop it up with one hand, legitimately. And that's, in my mind, the proper way to mix it before I slam it. And then I slam it like Popeye with spinach. You should see me every morning. It's like 4:45. I'm like, what you, boom.
Okay, you need to film this daily now.
I will.
Put it on TikTok.
And I catch it 99.9% of the time. A couple times I dropped it early in the morning. And one time it did explode. So I don't know why I had one random carbonated espresso shot. What do you say with the F My Life for Vanessa, if you remember what that is,
I'm
Heather?
going big baby, but I was just trying to follow that morning routine. But
I know.
yeah.
Do you have any weird morning routines that you do to help get you going?
I just make a little shot of espresso, put a little whipped cream on it.
Okay.
I'm easy,
Fancy.
easy.
That is fancy.
And a little doppio. If you
Okay, what about you, Tony?
I got nothing. It's just a miracle to get out of bed. And, you know,
Like, I'm alive again.
you know,
I'm
once that's
alive.
happened, We're rolling, and then we'll see what happens after that.
All right, that's fair. The routine is check. Okay, good. Here's another
Vitals.
day.
Good.
All right, two more emails real quick. Rachel sent me this one. beefvegan@kfma.com said I accidentally hit the clap reaction instead of the prayer hands on a coworker's post about their dog passing away. Now I'm the office villain. F My Life, Heather.
I'm going to go FML on that one. Just
Yeah,
because.
yeah. What do you say, Tony?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and Rico.
Have it out for 1 second. There's all you can retract it. You can change it.
I know,
like, come on.
The Rachel seems
Just
like she
leaves
walked
it.
away like it's a decision she had to make for the rest of her life. I done did it.
Well,
I have to live with the
left it out
repercussions.
I hated your dog.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also,
Yeah.
just choir hands, like, woo!
Right? All right, well, final F My Life of the day sent to me by Trevor. Trevor said, the other day I saw my neighbor struggling to carry groceries and decided to be helpful. I grabbed a bag from them, and the handle broke immediately, spilling everything. And they just whispered, why? No good deed goes unpunished, for sure. F My Life, Rico.
Yes.
Okay, Heather?
Yes.
All right, and Tony.
Yeah, all across the board.
Yes, absolutely, Trevor. That's a classic, dude. Comedy.
Why?
Keep those emails coming. beefvegan@kfma.com. We're going to hit the reset. When we return, your opportunity to win up to $100 in gift certificates to Catalina Craft Pizza as we play another round of Tap Out. The theme today is Oscars trivia, and we have multiple choices as well. So be ready to call 600-KFMA because that's coming up next. All right, we're back here on the podcast broadcast stream, and I'm going to play, I got viral videos that I want to share with you, just two funny little clips, and I'm going to play back, much to the chagrin of Rico, a 5-star review, because I wanted to squeeze that in there, but that's just going to be for the FM side, for the 9 o'clock hour, because he refuses. He's a stubborn man, this Rico.
Oh, stop. I'm being reasonable. You don't have a guy build you a garage, and then you get drunk in your Porsche and run into it, be like, hey, how's doing it again sound?
No, the reasonable thing is, we accidentally deleted it. We want to get some video of it. Then we would happily do it again. You're going to read the script that you spent 2 hours to write again.
I agree, too. We don't have to make mountains out of molehills. Let's just do it. Let's do it, baby.
No, you're eating. We're eating on the podcast. I have the audio of it. I'll just play the audio, and then we will never be able to see the physical presentation that Rico gave. And there was a time, and
There's a
you
lot of
weren't here.
pantomiming going on.
You weren't here, Dana. I swear to God, and I wish I had to play back on this. There was a time there was a glow around him while he was delivering. It was about halfway through.
Floating.
Yeah, where I was like, this is internet gold. This is the
Dragon.
thing. Yeah, it was like very Last Dragon-ish. I swear to God, I thought he was getting possessed or touched by an angel or rimmed by an angel. I don't know. An angel was involved.
Angel is doing something inappropriate.
And it was something that you could only see. You couldn't pick it up just by listening to it. And Lindsay, since she's fasting, she doesn't mind watching you eat and vicariously living through your joy.
Tell me about it. What's the taste like?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I did have a couple pieces of that scone, the cheddar bacon poblano, which is 3 just brilliant combinations you can't go wrong with. All right, so here's playing back the 5-star review on the FM side, and that's what's going on right now. While we're doing that, I do have a funny video I've been holding on to for a second because I feel like we've all been there, right? And this was the perfect dramatic representation of a situation that every man fears the most, okay? So let me play this immature clip for you real quick. You'll enjoy it.
No, I'm about to go crazy, right?
So here we go.
Stop playing. Come on.
No, I'm about to go crazy.
Come on. Just put it in. Come on.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready. Ooh. Ooh, that feels good. That feels good. Keep going. Keep going. Why you stop? Why the sad music building up? Why the sad music build? Why is the sad music building up? Let me look at your face. No! No, don't tell me. Don't. Why is it getting smaller? Why is it? No, don't make that. Why is it getting? I feel it getting smaller. Why? Why?
It's over.
No, get it back up.
It's over.
Get it back up.
Why is it sad?
Why is it getting smaller?
It's over. That's all. That was it.
Why is it getting smaller?
It's over.
Where'd it go?
Let me rub your back.
I don't feel it no more. Where did it go?
Sorry.
Rub your back.
Oh.
It reminds me of like early 2000s, like E-Bombs World or like Flash animation.
Yes, and it could have been.
Oh my God.
It could have been. You know,
Brings
I
me
mean,
back.
I'm not saying this was new by any means, but for whatever reason,
It's
popped
great.
up on my algorithm, and I'm like, it's relatable.
I'm giggling.
Yeah, let me give you a back rub. I'll give you a back
I
rub.
love that. Why is the sad music building up?
Yeah. So that, of course, you know, that was one of the funny videos that I came across. But that's not the only thing. This is a parody commercial that I came across, throwing back for, you know, this type of ad of an invention that was great for women and terrible for men. And this was an honest ad for what's called like the boob kerchief. Okay, so if you haven't seen the boob kerchief, it went a little something like this. Check this out.
Let's face it, boobs are the greatest thing ever. Right now, this guy has an office boner. For some reason, women keep trying to cover their lady prizes up. Sometimes they even wear undershirts, which is a real fucking buzzkill. Well, now some asshole has invented this new boob apron, which is like a piece of a shirt that women attach to their bras so they can feel like they're wearing an undershirt when it's really just a boner-killing tit kerchief. For some reason, a guy telling a girl she has nice hooters is bad, but boob apron takes all the fun out of a date in no time. Nice white wine, dick. Boob apron has fancy fabrics and was made by slave children overseas. Let's face it, boobs are the greatest thing ever. Right now, this guy has an office boner. For some reason...
It's replaying. Sorry, there you go. So that's
Boner killer.
The boner killer. So those are two things that popped up on my algorithm, and don't know why. All right, so... A little fun with video. And then, of course, the other video that we played already was the Casey Anthony, which was the #1 trend.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
No, that was so dark.
Oh, well, I mean, imagine what kind of TikTok dances she's going to come up with now, because she is on TikTok, giving legal advice with TikTok dances. When I went down the Casey Anthony rabbit hole, turns out that she actually had an affair with a married man about 2 years ago. Married man, he was married with 2 kids, and Casey Anthony was the other woman. So I'm glad to see that the character hasn't changed too much. Good old Miss Anthony there. So just Florida life, Florida living it up. And then we went down the rabbit hole of how she paid for her defense attorney, Jose Baez, who is the biggest creep of them all, really, in this whole situation. Defense attorneys already get a bad rap, but apparently he was invoicing her sex acts based off of his counsel.
For tax purposes.
Excuse me?
Yeah. So he's just like, okay, I was on the phone with you giving you advice and came up with the defense here for 2 hours. That's going to be 3 BJs. And like legitimately, this was an ongoing thing. And that trial, if you recall, was a long running trial. It was about 6 months. So she racked up quite a tally and she was paid in full. So these are, I guess, good things. And bad things at the same time. So, yeah, we learned a lot today, is what I'm saying.
You can invoice BJs.
You did.
Great.
If they're tax write-offs, I don't know.
Right. I'm going to talk to my accountant about that.
Yeah, you should. You should.
H&R Block. Hey, I got some questions. Do you have an hour?
Can you write this off? All right, so I'm firing off. That was the 5-star review and clear. All right, and then we'll be back on the air, do another segment on the Decibel Coffee presents Wired Fest, which is happening this Saturday night. And yeah, I wish we had the opportunity to give tickets for this, but that's always a sales thing. But I do appreciate you, coming in and helping us get amped for this event because it's cool.
Well, thanks for having me.
And this is the first one, so you're looking
that's rad,
to make it annual, right?
Yeah, we are. We're looking to make it annual, and it'll be kind of a anniversary show for us, and just hope to grow it and just continue to bring in great bands that maybe haven't been here in a while. Might skip Tucson and go to Phoenix or something.
Yeah, which we've continued to have this debate and argument online because people get mad. Same people get mad every time we announce, like when Live Nation's like, hey, promote this. Now this is a commercial radio. So, when we're giving out tickets and we're advertising shows, there's money behind it, right? They're advertising. That's what they do to promote a show. So when we announce this, people are like, another Phoenix show. Why aren't you booking this in, Tucson?
There you go.
Yeah, and, we were talking behind the scenes about David Salut's new music venue, which I'm super excited about. But that still doesn't fill the need that Tucson has for a larger scale venue.
Yeah, I mean, it goes from Rialto to TCC, basically.
Exactly. And so this is the math I was breaking down to a couple people that it was going over their head. And a lot of people have a common misconception because I'm like, look, you don't understand. We don't have a venue of that size of like Talking Stick Resort and Amphitheater here in Tucson. That's one of the main reasons why we're not getting these large shows because we can't house them. And one guy on the Facebook streams like, what about Ava Amphitheater? Isn't that the same size? I'm like, no. Ava Amphitheater is 5,000 people, and Talking Stick is 20,000 people. So Talking Stick is literally 4 times the size of Ava Amphitheater. And then when you talk about like TCC with the stage in there, you're talking about 8,000 people, right? And the Footprint Center or whatever they're going to call it here in the future, that's over 10,000. That's 15,000 with staging, depending on what the staging is going to be. And so there you go. There's the difference in scale. And on top of that, half the venues that I mentioned are owned by Live Nation as well. So when you're talking maximizing profits, like they're not going to book a major show at Keno Stadium. And I tried to explain this to them too. I tried to be as transparent as possible, but it really ends up going over their head, and then it just starts calling the station losers, like because they think the radio stations book all concerts in this country.
That's
when
how
it's
it
like,
works.
yeah, I'm like, you realize none of them are booking concerts, right? It's all through promoters, and so when I tried to explain the venues and owning the venues, it went over their heads as well. So It is what it is. It's a losing cause. I said if Live Nation wanted to get it like the Offspring show, right, which is a worldwide tour, Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory. That's a big show. It would sell. Now, if we had that, they could book that at Keno Stadium for sure, right? But now, first off, you got to pay for the rent to Keno Stadium, right? Then you have to pay for all the staging and extra security because it's not a venue that has it all built in-house.
Yeah.
Right.
Then on top of that, you have to buy the insurance for it being an outside show. The insurance alone is outrageous, right? So you're talking all those costs combined already are taken into that bottom line. And then you have to, how do you make up the money? Well, then you have to charge more for the tickets. So to put on a show of that magnitude and that scale with those guarantees, because it's a national tour and they're guaranteed per date, and then Live Nation books shows based off tours, not individually. And so then they just kind of plug and play throughout venues that they own throughout the entire country. You're saying that you're going to have to spend $250, $300 for an Offspring ticket to see it in Keno Stadium. And then the argument and the bitching will pivot from why aren't shows happening in Tucson to why the fuck are you trying to make me pay $500 for a concert ticket?
Right. Yeah, I mean, right now, there's no win-win in that situation at all.
Right. Yeah, so we try to explain too, because KFMA Day is a reoccurring thing. It's like we look around all these posters. Of course, you come in, you talk about your favorite KFMA Days. Everyone has that same experience as soon as they walk in the room, and we love it, and we want it back. But as you may know, with the explosion of major music festivals popping up all over the country, that created a circuit in itself, an industry in itself that
a lot like Europe. I mean, kind of patterned off of the European festival circuit.
100%. So now booking agents can just straight up book festival circuits and make more money than if they sold out every show on a nationwide tour within 5 dates. And that's because they inflated the cost so much. So for us to say, hey, Offspring, do you want to do KFMA Day? They're like, absolutely. Sounds like a festival, $500,000. Yeah. And it's like, well, how much are you going to make, per your individual show headlining? Oh, yeah, not that much. But festivals, that's a one-off. Sure. And festivals make lots of money. And so...
Yeah. I mean, for like a more of a mid-level band touring Europe, like those can make or break a tour in Europe. So being able to charge a little bit more for those bands help them. Once you get to the headlining, like that, the cost just blows up so much. But for a smaller band, like it's really helpful to be able to play a smaller stage at a festival and say get paid €10,000,
right?
Instead of
for sure, yeah. The majority of the cost is in the top 3 acts, right? Yeah, and then everything else is just like happy to be there. And that's the thing; it's not about getting a lineup for KFMA Day; it's about getting a headliner, a headliner that is a good enough headliner to draw the massive crowd. Right. Amen. And then the rest will be begging to be on the bill. And that's the fun part. And how can we build a show around it? But it's like, let's find a headliner that is going to be reasonable in cost. So then when the promoter puts all the other costs into staging and everything else and insurance, then we could still have a profitable show. Yeah. So that's where it's going. And it's a lot of people, they're like, oh, KFMA, you suck, you fell, you're losing, whatever the case may be. But they don't understand that 90% of these lineups that I have here, they were all paid for by the labels, right? So like 90% of these shows, the promoter didn't pay anything for the bands.
It's kind of promo.
Yes, the record labels would pay for these bands to perform on these festivals because radio spins equaled record sales. And people aren't buying records anymore. So the way that they make up the money now is doing live shows. And that's what changed. Yeah. Since record labels can't say, hey, man, we'll loan you Korn. We got a new album coming out. Okay, you got any big events that Korn could play at so we could sell some records?
We got to just make a YouTube video of you explaining this breakdown and like the math and the way things have changed just to like have that as a YouTube response link for every complainer.
This is on YouTube.
You know what I mean? Condense it. Label it. YouTube it.
All right. Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make an actual video saying, here's an explanation of why things are shitty. Congrats.
I know. I mean, I said it so much, it's ad nauseum at this point for our streamers, so I apologize if it sounds like it's Groundhog's Day.
But imagine the pressure, too, of having the return of KFMA Day. Like, it's got to be like, oh, they're coming back finally. So it's like the expectation is so
I know.
Sky high.
So good. Yeah, the only band I spent $500 on was Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, and Gojira. or Gojira. I say Gojira because
It's a Latino in you.
Yeah. Not just me and me. Holmes. Gojira. It's so good. All right. I'll stop being culturally inappropriate. But you grew up here in Tucson?
No, I moved here from Austin, Texas, although I grew up in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
snap.
So no accent though. Did you pick?
I had a Pennsylvania accent when I left PA.
Yeah. Do you ever like slip back into it after too many Rolling Rocks?
Well, no, it's a Yingling lager.
Yeah, you gotta go Yingling. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Pennsylvania there.
Yep.
I hung out with broke people from Pennsylvania, so we were drinking Rolling Rocks, which I literally had one on Super Bowl Sunday. And they fucked it up. I don't know. This is not the Rolling Rock I remember because I was like, this is ass in a can.
Well, back in the day, we would get $5 pitchers of Yingling, and it was the cheap beer.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
now it's kind of hipster, huh?
I'll slip back and I'll say water instead of water sometimes. Yeah.
Water.
Water.
Yeah. And how long did you live in Austin before it blew up?
5 years. Yeah. I moved here in 2006.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
So I mean, you wouldn't even be able to recognize Austin if you went back there.
I've been back a few
Okay.
times, and at the east side is definitely and north. It's all changed. For sure.
Yeah, it's all changed. So is it super gentrified too? Because a lot of money going in there.
Money. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much pushed all the cool people out that made it cool to want to move there anyway.
Right.
So, yeah.
Seems like a recurring theme.
Yeah, 100%. Because when
places.
you were living in Austin, it was like a mecca. It was a music capital, right?
It was amazing.
Yes.
I worked at Emo's, the club Emo's there. And,
yeah, that's a legendary venue.
Yeah, and South by Southwest. I mean, it was super fun.
Yeah.
Just year round, it was super fun. Not even just South by Southwest, but.
How many stages for musicians were there when you were living in Austin?
At least 200.
200 stages.
Wow. For South by Southwest.
Okay, yeah. But say just year round, regular venues that are booking shows.
I mean, they're around like a Red River district. And I mean, there's at least, 15, 20 stages just in the 6 square blocks. 7 square blocks. Yeah.
And so at any given night, there's multiple shows that you could choose to go to.
Yeah,
Music Town.
Every night.
Mm-hmm.
Not only at Emo's, but Stubbs was huge at the time.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's what made Modest Yahoo's career was his set at Stubbs.
Which brought back a flashback right now that's seeing that album cover.
And there was a lot of like 200 to 300 cap venues that smaller shows and locals played every night all around. It was very active. Extremely active.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's still that way now, or did comedy kind of take over?
I think it's still active, but I don't think it's quite in the way it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So the good old days. Yeah. Well, maybe we can make some good old days here in Tucson. Even though
that's the plan.
I will break this bad news for you. According to a recent report, Tucson is the only city in all of Arizona that hasn't grown this year or last year. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Yeah, I just dropped that little truth bomb on you. Yeah,
is that facts?
Facts. Yeah, I saw it on. I think it was KOLD or one of our local news sites this morning, where according to a recent survey and study, Tucson was the only city in all of Arizona that didn't have any economic growth in the last couple of years. So, I mean, obviously we know Phoenix has exploded.
Phoenix has exploded.
Apache Junction.
And over COVID, there was a lot of people moving here from the Pacific Northwest. So I don't know if the desert lost its luster and people moved out, or just went on to find something else, greener pastures or whatever. But
yeah, I think it's several. I think the biggest thing that is in preventing this city from growing, right? And not that I know there's going to be a lot of people out there like, no, we want to keep it the same size. Roads already suck as it is. We don't want more people messing this stuff up, and we hate snowbirds, right? So that's usually like local arguments. But the reality is, if we had a better freeway system all over the place, right, then we would have growth. Like when we were in the running for an Amazon factory, right? Remember, our politicians got in trouble for uprooting a sororo cactus and sending it to Jeff Bezos, which, of course, was not only against the law, but it was
kind
immoral.
of a federal offense.
Yeah.
Oops.
So they did that. They're like, hey, come to Tucson. We got some Sorors. We got one less, but hey, you can build right on top of the gravestone of this. Yeah. So, the main reason, one of the main reasons that Amazon decided to pass was because we were going to implement all these jobs. We're going to bring all these people. They're not going to be able to get to work on time. It's
something I lament every single day living here. Just how hard it is to get cross town.
It is.
and I don't know the solution to that other than eminent domain and people being pissed off. But.
Yeah. Well, I know. Well, I mean, and a lot of roads, were formerly trails that were just, paved over. But yes, you'd have to obviously create a bunch of chaos to create a proper freeway system within this layout of a city. But the fact that we only have one is definitely affecting a lot of people. And everyone knows that, driving 5 miles in this town is a 30-minute trek. And
when you memorize every single intersection and how long the lights take, so you prepare yourself to get angry.
Yeah.
Well, even that little section of aviation that they completed was like, oh my God, everyone was so excited. Like I was so excited. I use that every day.
Yeah.
That's like a mile and a half.
Yes, that's like a shortcut.
But you get to go around downtown, which is great.
It's kind of nice.
Yes.
It's like a little ride.
Yeah.
So, and then the more that they figure out the roads and transportation to cut down drive time, the better for the growth of the city, in theory. But I will say, as a radio broadcaster who hosts a morning show, the fact that you're stuck in your cars longer is so beneficial to me. So,
let's throw a radio conspiracy in the mix right now.
Yeah. So
this big radio.
The big radio.
Yeah. Potholes and traffic jams brought to you by Arizona Broadcasting Association, paying to keep Tucson crappy since
Radio
1969. Yeah, radio doesn't skip. So we got Dana from Decibel Coffee in studio with us. And the reason why he's in studio with us, not only celebrating the opening of the second location, which congratulations on that as well. The first location, original location, is located where?
At the MSA Annex.
Oh, yeah, nice.
In the Mercado District.
I love that, too, because that's a beautiful, kind of local story, because that's kind of like a low rent situation where the Annex kind of opens it up to smaller businesses or food trucks that want to transition to a brick and mortar. And it's almost like a half step towards that, right?
Sure.
And it's a great, obviously plaza and a complex where it has a bar and multiple restaurants and whatever you want, you have right there. So you started there.
We started there. We got the opportunity, and the overhead wasn't too much. We're like, well, this would be a great time to actually open our first retail spot, since we were only really providing other cafes and selling it online at the time. So that was a good first move.
So now your retail spot in the location that's next to the new Rocco's on Broadway. What does it offer?
We have all the same offerings at our new location as our Annex location, except we have indoor seating there now, and
Nice.
We will be able to expand the menu at some point. But right now we're only a month into it, and we're just kind of like get our feet under us and then figure it out from
What's
there.
been the reception so far since you
People love it.
Yeah,
People love
and people coming in, you starting to see regulars and everything else.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah, and downtown was a major kind of barrier. Like a lot of the people that live in the neighborhood around Soul Block would only make it over there for the weekends maybe, but here like they can go every day.
Yeah, right there off the Sunshine Mile. It's next to the new Rocco's at Decibel Coffee, and Decibel Coffee is celebrating with their first annual Wired Fest that's happening this Saturday at the Rialto Theater and 191 Tool simultaneously. So you can see 7 bands in one night if you pop back and forth from the stage, headlined by Russian Circles. You got Pelican, Camping in Alaska, North, Silver Fern, Troubled Minds, and Commodore, all performing one night. And again, 2 locations. You get individual tickets for only $20, depending on which venue you want to go to, Rialto or 191 Tool.
The $20 ticket is for 191 Tool only. The 40 is for both stages.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, so you want to do the Rialto stage, so you can see it closed out by Russian Circles. It's a fantastic band who Dana actually goes way back with, and they're kind of celebrating an anniversary as well, right?
Correct, yeah. They're celebrating like a 20-year between Russian Circles and Pelican, like just being buddies, basically, like playing back in the day together. And Pelican was a little bit before Russian Circles, and when Russian Circles first started out, Pelican would bring them out on tour with them, and here we are.
So they're going to put on a good show.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a bro down, so it's going to be fantastic. So ticket information, you can get at wiredfest.com. We got to play a couple words from our sponsors. Be back with our beef tip right after this. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. Yeah. So, and then we get a beef tip, and then we wrap it up.
I just like how Rocco's and Decibel has like 2 of the coolest like music heads in Tucson.
That's
both
true.
Combined.
And you know Rocco?
I do.
Yeah. And Rocco's one of the coolest guys, and super punk rock, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Legit.
was like, you need to start a music podcast, Rocco.
Yeah.
If I have time.
No, I know. You're killing this guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, too, because like I said, when I went to Rocco's it was a soft open, right? And it wasn't the official soft open.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the second week he's open, but didn't want to announce he was open. And he was skipping coming in because he was so busy. And I was like, that's cool. I was just craving Rocco's, so I wanted to get some
Don't
chicken
mind me.
wings. Yeah, so I went in to check out the new spot for lunch, and I pull up to the bar, and then I see Rocco come out, and he looks like he's been through war. Dude, he's
like Rambo,
trenches.
like,
so beat. So like, and obviously we're linked up on social media, so I've been following his plight, and he's basically begging people not to come to the location as he's going because he never stopped being busy.
Yeah.
And so then,
Well, I mean, it's almost like he could have built any size place he wanted to, and it would fill up. Like,
yes,
you know, that was such a big move to where he is now, and it could be twice as big, and they'd still be packed. Like, it just has a big following.
yes, which is great. And again, the place is. Have you seen it yet, Rico? It's beautiful.
I need to.
You can't go today. It's closed. But you know, it is a beautiful location, and yeah, he's built up that loyalty amongst his you know, his customer base for so long. Sure. It's great to see. But also, you know, like, and I got to remind people, there are other things on the menu. Because me personally, I'm like, I can only do a deep dish pizza maybe once a month if I'm gluttonous, right? You know, especially since I can't eat one slice. I can't just eat one slice. And with Rocco shit, I'm like, I can't.
It's a coma meal.
I mean, I usually go for the thin crust and wings.
There you go.
Just to
smart man.
Yes.
Spread it out.
And that's the thing. They do have thin crust. Then they have excellent sandwiches, and you know, and they have other stuff that is not as stomach pounding as the deep dish pie.
But I love it so much.
But it's so good. I know.
Quick question about the coffee. Can you order this online too?
You can. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
DecibelCoffeeWorks.com.
You guys have to check this out.
Yeah.
Look at that. What is that flavor? Or the
That's the
Honduran?
Honduras.
How do you say it?
As a wholesale provider of coffee, are you coming across any obstacles with? I've been reading, you know, like obviously there's been droughts
it's insane all across the board right now. The C market, which is the coffee stock market, basically has shot past historic highs for a multitude of reasons.
Wow,
really?
You know, from anything you could think of, climate, political instability, threats of tariffs, and you can pretty much almost do a 1-to-1 look at the market, and then when there's tariffs threatened, that it would shoot up as a reaction
every time.
And you know, we're just waiting for it to become stable again. Unfortunately, we had to raise some prices to cover our butts, but yeah, it's intense right now for sure.
I think when you see that price raise too, ironically, the consumer probably looks at that as like, oh, you guys are sourcing from the region.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I mean it's
they don't grow coffee beans in America.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, why are you threatening that when you can't bring that industry here?
Yeah, it's impossible, you know. Or we would have all the coffee because we're a coffee obsessed nation.
Yep.
And probably percentage wise, the by population consume the most cocaine. So there's the two things.
One gets you arrested, one doesn't.
I guess the coffee bean is not like the coca leaf, so it's none of the same. But we can't grow either of those, right?
The one comment there, actually.
Like,
all right.
I'm sorry, I equate coffee with cocaine. But that's the point, though. You're like, every time even a threat happens and a tariff, then the supplier in America has to raise their prices to offset the cost to them,
you know,
and then it passes that on to the consumer.
And we've always tried to be one of the most reasonable priced coffee, high-end coffee shops in town. And we're just kind of our hands being forced at this point, and we just have to do what we have to do.
Yeah, that's why Great Depression was trending today on Twitter, and probably will for the foreseeable future as long as more and more tariffs continue to be talked. Because again, this all went through in 1930, same thing that triggered the Great Depression. It was pretty much the same conversations we're having today, and it's unfortunate that we even have to learn this mistake again. But we, as a society, have short-term memory, so. Let's wrap it up here with a feel-good note. Rocco 2.1 Cafe, we're back on the air. I'd like to thank our in-studio guest, Dana, from Decibel Coffee and Wired Fest. Congratulations on the opening of your second location, and congratulations on putting together this first show. That, you know, you're doing something pretty historic with taking over both the Rialto and 191 Tool on one night and booking it. And you're going to get your steps in that night, I know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to... get my Gold Bond powder out and make sure I'm all powdered up.
Yeah.
Who's that guy with the headband? It's like a blur.
Right. And that will lead me to your beef tip. And the beef tip to you is just that. If you plan to take over downtown along with Decibel Coffee this Saturday, it's all about, powdering the boys before you go out. Nobody likes a chafed festival goer. Mm-hmm. And you are going to get your steps in. So not only are you going to be able to burn some calories and sweat while dancing and moshing along to these fantastic bands that are performing, but when you're walking in between both venues and stuff, those steps add up. And if you're a chubby dude like myself and my fellow chubby bros out there, you got to chafe the balls, man. You got, or you got to powder them to prevent chafing, because walking like a cowboy into 191 Tool, everyone's gonna know that you're uncomfortable. That wide stride, yeah. So there you go.
Kind of like.
Yeah. You feel that pain. We know it well. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the show. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/beefvegan. Tomorrow morning, we'll continue to give away tickets for The Offspring. Your next opportunity will be in the 8 o'clock hour, so make sure you're listening around that time as well. Till then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. And clear. All right.
Sweet.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much. That was fun.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow morning.